I was coaching at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver in the NCAA for 24 years, and I recently retired. And also during that time, I had a period of time I coached with our Canadian Olympic team. And so I was fortunate enough to go to 3 Olympic Games. And so now in my retirement, it's been my pleasure to join the Czech Softball Federation. Sure, it actually started shortly after I retired, and I was in the Netherlands doing a conference, and Vojta, the head coach of the Czech women's team, was there also as a conference, and him and I sat down to dinner one night. We're just chatting, and he was asking me questions about preparing for the Olympics and whatnot. And so he says, well, do you want to work with us? And I said, well, I'll come to one event in Florida and see if it's a good fit. And I really enjoyed the experience, and I guess I did okay because he welcomed me back. And so I've been here since with the team since 2019. Yeah, well, that's not a bad place to be sometimes. And so initially, it was really not formally defined what my role was. Anything I could see that I could help with, I would, approach the coaches and give them my perspective. And so there's some, opportunities to provide some mentoring for coaches. But Vojta has been very trusting and given me, the opportunities to interact with the athletes. So I work with them, during training camps with, almost any aspect of the game. He may say, go work with the outfielders today, go work with the hitters the next day, work with the catchers in the afternoon. So pretty much anything I see that I think is of value to add, I would either speak directly to the coach, or if he would say, yeah, go talk to the athletes themselves. Sure, I think there's actually been a fair amount of change over those years. We had some of the veterans retire, and so the young crop of athletes are very skilled. And I think one of the things that's changing is belief. They're starting to believe that they can compete at that level, but they need more opportunities. This team this year beat Australia, they beat Canada, they beat Great Britain, they beat a number of very good teams. And so it comes down to different aspects of the game. The hitting, I think, has improved probably the most in the last couple of years. And, the defense has been solid, but each of the players has improved their game themselves. And so as a team concept, though, the belief is equal to the hitting. Well, I'm actually really impressed with the structure of the system in Czech, and the athletes have been a delight to work with. They're North American athletes, I have to be honest with you, have an entitlement, and so the Czech athletes are hungry to learn. They're sponges for information, and they're always wanting more. And so, for me, that energizes me. They're hardworking, and so I think their future is very bright. The coaches are equally hardworking, and they're students of the game. I tip my hat to Vojta, the head coach, on a regular basis because he's a student of the game. He probably spends way too much time watching video on YouTube, but nonetheless, he puts a great deal of time into scouting and professionalizing the team and giving them a perspective I quite frankly think very few European countries have in any of their head coaches, because Vojta's had some experience in North America, and now he's bringing that to this team, and it's well prepared, well trained. They have excellent therapists, kinesiologists, sports psychologists. All the different aspects are coming together, and this team is, I believe, one step away from coming of age, where it will not just be challenging, but it will be one of the dominant nations in Europe as it is right now with the younger levels, the U16, the U18, the U22s. So I'm excited about the future for sure with Czech softball. In terms of funny moments, okay, there was I guess a couple. I mean, there's probably been many I can't say, okay, because we have a lot of fun with the staff, the athletes. There's a couple comedians on the team as well. So Vojta sent me to Kunovice to scout a game. And it's a beautiful old town. I'm in the downtown area, and I have my rental car, and I finished my scouting. At Sunday morning, I'm going to go home. And I notice all the roads, there's a lot of one-way roads. So I see a sign, I go, oh, exit. So I follow this sign, I see another sign, exit. I follow that sign, and then there's the next exit sign. Turns out it wasn't an exit sign, it was a do not enter sign. So my entire way out of the city was driving the exact wrong way. So the team had a good laugh about that. And, you know, obviously translation sometimes will be funny. One of the athletes from Ostrava, Kubitz, our catcher, she doesn't speak a lot of English. I think she knows more than she speaks, but she's sometimes shy about her English. And so she would often get translation. And then one day I asked her something, and then she spoke in the most perfect English I'd ever heard in Czech. I have no idea, she said. And I thought, Kubitz, your English is perfect. You've been faking the whole time. And the team had a good laugh, and so we joke about that quite regularly. But you know, some after-hour meetings with the coaches after a stressful day, we can unwind and we can joke amongst each other. And also the athletes, there's 2 or 3 of them that'll, you know, say something to make everybody a little less uptight and enjoy the experience. Well, I mean, being retired, I'm pretty free to travel. So from here, I'm actually traveling to Scotland for a couple days, and I'm going to do Scandinavia, then I'm going to do Ireland, and then I'm going to go back to Canada and tough out another winter, which is very similar to what you'll experience in the Czech Republic.